Hi guys, welcome back to The Next Drive and welcome to the BYD Sealion 5 DMI and welcome to Telford. So normally for these car launches, not normally, but sometimes we're sent to some lovely locations, you know, the south of France, Rome, all sorts of places. Today, I'm in Telford. That's where BYD has chosen to launch this car in the UK. Nothing against Telford, Stop beeping! Nothing against Telford, by the way. I'm going the wrong way already. This is already a fantastic test drive. I don't want to go to the cinema. Good test of this car's manoeuvrability anyway. Where's reverse? There it is. This is going to be a very interesting video. It's a smash and grab as well. So I think I've talked about this before. I know Alistair has as well. When you get invited to these launch events, you get given, can I please stop this beeping? You get invited to these events and you're given a set of keys to a car and you're given a route and off you go. So I've never sat in this car before. It's brand new, it's being launched now. You know, I don't think it's even in showrooms yet. We will do a full review at some stage in the near future, I promise. Now, while I find this route, some interesting things about BYD that I've learnt this morning. Their growth in the UK is bonkers. Between 2024 and 2025, they grew, as near as it makes no difference, 500%. There are so many beeps in this car. They're also claiming 72% brand awareness. I don't know how they calculate that or what it means really, but I guess what it refers to is the fact that more and more people are aware, obviously, of BYD. And I'm not surprised by that. I don't know where you live, but I live in Warwick. They're everywhere. We do have a dealership. That's just one of the many, many dealerships that have sprung up over the last 12 months in the UK. So it's not surprising that I see quite a few of them, but even driving outside of my hometown, they're just everywhere. So 72% brand awareness, whatever that means, makes sense. They basically spent most of this morning telling us how amazing they are, how much they've grown, how much everyone knows about BYD now in the UK, and how important this particular car is. And the tagline they were using during the press conference this morning was, "The price of petrol, the tech of plug-in." And the price, 29,995, which is about 5 grand less than the average price of a plug-in hybrid in the UK. You can spend more. Obviously, this is the design version, which is more expensive. It has things like heated seats, but the amount of standard kit that you get on the regular entry-level Sealion, and in fact any BYD car, is amazing. I'll put it on the screen now. You can pause and have a quick look if you want to, but trust me, you get so much stuff with these BYDs that you do not get with other brands. So BMW, Audi, etc. You have to add things on to get, you know, electric seats and all sorts of stuff, but the standard spec for most BYDs, including this one, is just really, really impressive. Now, being a plug-in hybrid, you can't get that far on the battery, about 53 miles, but the combined range is about 631 miles, which is a lot. I drove a plug-in hybrid Range Rover last year and it was a revelation. Okay, much more expensive than this, but I barely touched the engine. Because if you're just pootling around town or going back and forth from work, chances are you're going to be mainly on electric range, and 50 miles is enough for most people. So I can see why people go for plug-in hybrids. In terms of performance, 212 brake horsepower and 0 to 62 in 7.7 seconds. What does that feel like? Let's find out. Let's overtake this lorry. Foot down. 70. It's not going to knock your socks off performance-wise. I think I need to find somewhere to pull over and have a look at it. Let's see what this thing looks like from the outside. Right, let's have a look at the exterior. Very windy, very cold. Here it is. The Sealion 5 DMI. Now this is an SUV, so it looks like an SUV, obviously. But I do think BYD get the SUV thing. They understand that these don't need to be boring looking cars. They need to be practical and safe and all the rest of it, but they can have a bit of character. And again, this does have a bit of character. This is the first time I've properly looked at this, by the way, remember. Nice big grille here. I like that, lots of presents. There is no mistaking who made it either. If that comes up behind you. Lights, I like the design. Very nice. Wheel check, they are 18-inch and I like that design. Nicer than Tesla's standard wheels, which I know can be a bit of a bad thing to say, BYD versus Tesla, etc. It's a nice design, this car. I like the roofline. I like the little spoiler thing here. I like this kind of textured design here, which you do get in a lot of BYD cars. Let's check out the interior. In fact, let's start with the boot. I'll put the exact capacity down here, but it's pretty big, to be honest, guys. It's a really nice, spacious boot. I haven't got much stuff in here, but you can imagine getting a couple of big suitcases in here. The rear seats do go down as well. Let's check out the rear room here. Loads of headroom. I'm about 5'8", 5'9", and loads of space. Again, so practical, but it is a nice place to sit. I love the rear seat design. I love these. You get these on most BYDs, this kind of glossy black trim here. We have BYD design. Obviously this is the design trim. Very basic heater controls here. We do have USB-C down there. Lovely. Lots of leather trim, nice stitching. There's just so much room back here. It's really impressive. But let's get in the front. Okay. Please make sure the key is in the vehicle. It is in the vehicle now. What I love about BYD is that they do a combination of obviously touchscreen, but buttons as well. There's tons of buttons everywhere. The heater controls are, to be fair, in the system here. I think we press this and we get the heater controls here, but we do have proper, unlike Tesla, we do have proper sliding things here and loads of buttons on the steering wheel. I have to mention this. This is a camera which points at your face, and if it detects tiredness, it beeps and bongs, and if you look away from the road, it beeps and bongs. I think that's why it was doing it earlier, because I was turning to the camera safely, by the way, and doing that. It didn't like that. I'm not a fan of this. I mentioned this in another BYD review and had loads of people in the comments saying you can put a bit of tape over it, you can do that. I don't think you can turn it off. Funnily enough, I've got my hand in the way of it now. If I do that, I had a little message pop up saying it's obstructed. It's not doing it now, but I just find it a bit invasive, and I decide if I'm tired or not. Nice big screen. It's about 12.8 inches or something like that. This is an 8-inch screen behind here. It's a bit of a mess in terms of all the icons and things. I'm not a big fan of that. This one is fine. It's a nice resolution. It doesn't do the twiddly-turly twiddly-tur. It doesn't twist around like the other BYD cars, but that's fine. That is a bit of a gimmick. But yeah, interior-wise, it's very well made. I was thinking earlier that it's very quiet in here, just driving down the road. It was just a very serene place to sit. There is no panoramic sunroof. I don't know if that's an option or not, but it's certainly not on this car here. I like this trim here, this glossy trim, although that will scratch and it will get lots of fingerprints, particularly if you've got kids. I like this. This is nice. We have Qi charging here as well for your phone, so you can pop that on there. 2 cup holders, pretty big stowage in terms of the armrest. The door pockets are a fairly good size. They're not massive, they're not too bad. It's a nice place to sit. But what's it like to drive on these kind of roads? Okay, off we go. So I'm in EV mode still. I've got 38% remaining, 566 miles in the tank apparently. It did strike me on the motorway back there that I didn't hear the motor kick in at all. I didn't hear the engine start up. So either it stayed in EV mode on the motorway. I didn't check, to be fair, but either that or the engine's very quiet. Now, I've driven a few plug-in hybrids, a few regular hybrids that are really jarring when the engine kicks in. You can really hear it. You sometimes get a bit of a jolt. It's just a bit unnerving. Either this is very quiet or it has successfully stayed in EV mode. I hope it's both. The ride is very comfortable, as it should be. This is an SUV, it's a family car. Let's be honest, it's a family wagon and it should be comfortable. It deals with a very rough road here, to be fair, very well. What's it beeping at now? No idea. It's stiff, so it's got some rigidity, definitely, but it's not uncomfortable. You could do a lot of miles in this. In fact, it is quite stiff. I mean, these are bad roads, to be fair. Telford does have some pretty lovely driving roads, but they are quite rough. It's dealing with potholes fine. It's got some stiffness, and actually that does give it a little bit of a lively feel, which is, you know, if you're into your driving and you don't want to just give up on life because you've bought an SUV, then that's important. The steering, like a lot of modern cars of this nature, is a bit disconnected from the road, not in a dangerous way. It's just, you know, it's not a Porsche 911. You know, you can't feel everything through the steering wheel, and it very much feels digital in that respect, but it's very light. Big potholes here. fine. Very quiet cabin as well. I've been in a few brand new cars before, and this has only done 41 miles, apparently. I've been in a few brand new cars from certain manufacturers that have been a little bit creaky and squeaky, and they've made noises. I've not heard anything at all, basically. There's not a single noise. Now, as you might expect, we do get CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. I like the size of that screen for CarPlay, it's nice and big. BYD's system is pretty good. It's not as good as the gold standard these days, which I think is Polestar, if you want to use the in-car system. But it's not bad, and it has finger gestures for, I think if you use 3 fingers, you can very quickly access the temperature for the heating and that sort of stuff. Wow, that's a massive pothole. Dealt with it fine. Still haven't heard the engine. But I guess this is what these kind of cars are all about. It's what a plug-in hybrid is. If you're thinking about buying the Sealion 5, it's because you want that convenience of EV. But equally, if you go out on a long drive, you know, if you take, I'm only driving around for about an hour and a half, but if you're driving for the entire day, for instance, if you're going to see family or you're going on holiday or something, you want the combination of that EV range and the peace of mind that comes from having a petrol engine that you can just put petrol into and not run out of range. And that's a massive thing. It's a huge thing. We have an EV, we have a BMW iX1 at home, and for long runs, you know, if we're going on holiday or going to see someone, we tend to take my car because it's petrol, even though the iX1 would get there. You know, it's got a range of whatever, 230 miles or something, but you never get that out of it. You never get what EVs quote out of them in terms of range. It just doesn't happen. This is why plug-in hybrids exist. And you can plug them in as well. You can plug them in at home, so you always have that 50 miles of range. That makes a massive difference, trust me. This is a good car to buy because of that. Okay, so what do I think about this Sealion 5? First impressions, having driven it for about an hour. It does everything it needs to. I think it looks good. I think it drives as it should, i.e. it's safe and it's very compliant, and it does deal with big potholes and stuff okay, but it does also have a bit of personality, so you don't feel like you're giving up on life if you've bought this. The interior is really nice. It's really, really comfortable. The seats are very comfortable, and the quality of the interior is really good. I think the Sealion 5, being a plug-in hybrid, being a what is now a traditional family car, I think is going to do very well. And I can see why. But I would love to know in the comments, because I would guess that you're watching this video with a view to buying one of these. What is it that attracted you to the Sealion 5? Is it BYD? Is it just the type of car it is? Are you comparing it against something else? Get involved down below. This really helps us in terms of our research and our reviews for future cars, but also it really helps the other people who are looking at these cars and thinking, should I buy it? If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, you know what to do, and I'll see you down in the comments. Cheers.